Yeah, dude, I was late, and it wasn't for a normal reason. Like, I was late because I was doing good shit. I was working out, and I got off of the elliptical at like 4:47. I looked at my watch, and I fucking cooked salmon and rice, ate it, and hopped in the shower real quick before I came over here.
Imagine trying to bring that to your job and be like, yeah, I was busy bettering myself this morning.
Yeah.
That's why I'm late today.
Yeah, I mean, usually if I'm late, it's because like I took too long jerking off before my shower. Like
that'll make you late.
That's usually what it comes from. Because if I don't get that in, I'm usually
you walk
not
into the
in the best
bathroom
mood.
with 10 minutes to jerk off and 10 minutes to wash your body, and 23 minutes in, you're like, oh shit.
Yeah,
I gotta get in the shower.
Yeah. It's sometimes you don't find the right video right away,
And sometimes you get all the way through a video, and you're like, I don't think this video deserves my cum.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're like,
I don't know if I've ever thought about it as deserving.
Well, that's really what you're saying when you're like, turn this one off. They don't have the right scene. This isn't what I'm looking for today. I want people doing this at a different angle, and somebody put that girl's toe in her mouth.
We're watching different porn, I think.
Well,
somebody put that girl's toe. How many people are in your porns that you're watching, Duke?
Minimum 4.
Oh man, yeah.
I'm watching porn. I'm not watching the local bus station.
I like the solo. I'm like Pete. No dicks. No, I'm kidding. I'm
dude. That's something that I did live by probably until my mid-teens, like 15, 16.
Yeah.
Is when I got comfortable enough to see a video with a dick.
Were you homophobic or self-conscious?
Probably homophobic. I'm gonna go with because I don't think I knew until then that my dick was small.
Yeah.
So prior to seeing the dick videos,
I think everybody that well, I don't know, your generation's a little different, but my generation, I think everybody was homophobic in high school because you didn't know. You knew some people might be gay, but you didn't know actually any actual gay people.
Yeah.
And
well, that's the same.
There was a very negative stigma on it in the early 2000s.
I went to Catholic school, so like gay was like we talked about it in religion class and being like, yeah, you'll go to hell for that. And
really? At Hoban?
St. V.
Oh, you went to St. V. Okay.
Yeah.
That's crazy,
But there was gay kids at the school.
Yeah. And it was like 2019, right?
18 is when I graduated.
Yeah.
But like
that's crazy to me.
They'd still be in school and be like, yeah, gay is still a sin. And like you'd be in class and then everyone would kind of look over their shoulder at the gay kid.
Yeah. It was just, for me, it was just the unknown, because it was like, as soon as I got out of my high school and like worked in some restaurants and shit and met some gay people, I was like, oh, they're cool.
Yeah.
I
went from high school to working at Starbucks. I went from Catholic high school to working at Starbucks. So
yeah.
I walked in day 3 at Starbucks. I was like, holy shit, the whole staff's going to hell.
Yeah. It's funny with me. It's funny for me too whenever I run into people from high school and they never learned those lessons that I learned by, like, I don't know how that's possible.
You just
but
go
it's like,
start working construction.
Yeah, probably, or they just like started working as a fucking mechanic or some shit.
Yeah,
like,
there's plenty of jobs that the gays don't venture into.
Gays don't say it like that.
What the gays can have job preference.
No,
we don't. Like, the gays don't want to work at a job where they're going to be discriminated. Like, they're not gonna go work.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the people that never learn those lessons and like are now pretty much bigots. Are people that like didn't go to college, they never worked in restaurants, bars, like you said, they just immediately went to a blue collar job and
they left high school, never met a gay guy, went to a blue collar
yeah.
job. They met their first gay guy. They were 37.
Yeah, or if they did, they just didn't. I don't know.
I think
weird.
you got a little too much faith in like people like would meet a gay person and change just because they met.
I mean, you have to. I don't know.
That's what you did. That's what I did.
Yeah.
We met our first gay person. We're like, oh, I understand now.
Yeah.
Maybe you didn't get it before because you never met somebody who could share their experience with you.
Yeah.
But I guarantee there's a lot of people out there in the world that are they're never giving a chance to any other thought than the way that they think.
Yeah.
It's just, I think, yeah, a lot of it is people, they were just never, like my mom was Catholic, and like, so she'd be like she probably, like, she never said anything like, oh yeah, the gays are going to hell, but she never met a gay person until she was in her 40s, and she got a gay coworker, and then she was like, oh, she came home one day, she met her gay coworker and was like, oh, they can't go to hell. They're the sweetest person I've ever met. Like, that's wrong.
Yeah, it is all about meeting people. I mean, that's the fear of others is the fear of others. Like, you don't, like, it's others because you don't know them. I mean, that's like, most people my parents' age are not, my parents are 70. Most people their age are not very open to the idea of the whole trans movement. But
that's because they haven't seen the porn.
But yeah, true, probably true.
You could change your dad's mind real quick.
Yeah. No, my brother's best friend from high school was trans, and they got to know him, and so they're different than most people their age because they knew somebody, they cared about somebody that was, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that is
the best way.
Yeah. So I guess just like open up your fucking horizons a little bit and meet more people. You know what I mean? Like,
and if you suck a trans woman's dick, it's not gay.
All right. Well,
it's not gay. That's straight to suck a trans woman's dick because she's a woman.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean,
what have you done? Have you done that? Is that why you're bringing that up?
No, but if I were to suck a dick, it'd be a trans woman's because I'm not gay.
Okay.
But I'm not against sucking dick.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess. I mean, that makes sense. I really don't know if we should be talking about this, dude. I don't know.
I'm just saying. I'm a straight guy. If I were to suck a dick, it would be a trans woman's.
Yeah.
If she was non-binary, well, then that's pansexual. If you suck a non-binary person's dick, that's a pansexual act.
That's more than I've ever thought about.
Sucking a woman's dick is still straight.
Okay.
Because it's a woman's dick.
All right.
You agree?
I don't disagree.
All right. Bring her in.
Oh shit, dude, this is weird. But you live like
far.
a block away from where my cousin Tammy used to live, and she lived like if you pull down the street. I'm not going to say the name of your street, but if you pull down,
oh yeah, all 50 of these people are coming over. To do that.
But when you turn right onto your street, the second house on the left was my cousin's house.
Really?
And yeah, she had like a swimming pool and shit, and her kids were my age, so I used to go over there and hang out all the time.
Oh shit!
And one of your neighbors over here that's very close to this house, I made out with and fingered a chick whenever I was 16.
Holy crap!
House, yeah,
dude.
I was 16. She was 15. I drove all the way out here from Cuyahoga Falls, to do that, and I accomplished what I set out to do.
Oh, dude, dude, what's 50 minutes round trip?
Yeah,
that's nothing.
Yeah,
we're from Ohio,
but I was a pussy whenever I was that age. So like,
did you ever have a friend that like drove like 2 hours to meet some girl?
Yes.
Oh, were you older, like internet? Like,
what's the
adult?
furthest you've ever driven? Well, you've had a girlfriend for most of your adult life.
I have had a girlfriend for a lot of my adult life. Furthest I ever driven, 30 minutes maybe, just to the falls.
Okay.
From down here.
I drove to Pittsburgh, but I knew the girl. It wasn't like I met her online or anything.
Yeah.
I lived in Pittsburgh for 6 months.
And
I drove back there once.
I went from Cincinnati to OU with like.
That's pretty far.
Obviously, I was going to also indulge in drugs and alcohol.
Yeah.
But that was the prime factor in me leaving Cincinnati to go to Ohio. That's a 3-hour drive.
Yeah.
That's
quite a bit. Mine was an hour and a half, but yeah, I don't think I ever drove.
I'm not going to drive 3 hours for one activity,
I don't think I ever drove further than that. I mean, there was a girl that I really wanted to hook up with in Texas, but I was going there anyways, so it wasn't like I drove there for her.
Yeah. You're like, I am going to go to the family Thanksgiving for the first time in 10 years.
No, that would be crazy to drive 19 hours to hook up with a chick.
I mean, if it's really good.
Yeah. It better be like the best ever at that point.
Yeah, she better have a dick and a pussy, you know what I'm saying?
Oh man, dude, the first
I gotta change what I'm watching on the internet, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, I just watched the new Sam Talent special, so all that stuff is like fresh in my head.
Yeah, that was good, dude.
The first 5 minutes is the funniest fucking opening of a special I've ever seen.
It was what I liked about I've never really watched a lot of Sam Talent's comedy. I'm reading his book currently.
Yeah.
His chapter with Norm Macdonald in that book. You've read the book, right?
Yeah.
Running the Light, Sam Talent, if anyone's interested. It's a great book. But that chapter with Norm Macdonald in it is the chapter I just finished. And that is the best chapter of literature I think I've ever read. I was enthralled. I was laughing out loud.
Yeah. I don't know if that's because it was the best part of the book or if it was just that we all love Norm Macdonald, so it was a cool part of the book. You know what I mean? I thought the book was great all around, and somebody borrowed my copy. So, if whoever's watching this, if it's you, please.
They're not watching. I can promise you right now. I've seen the statistics on this channel. They're not watching. Oh man.
Yeah, I let a comic that came over to do a podcast borrow it, and I could not remember who it was. So.
Oh, you don't remember who borrowed your book?
No,
man,
I don't.
I was gonna try and convince you to call them out, but you don't even know.
Yeah, it was probably Jimmy Killius, but no, he doesn't read. There's no way.
There's no way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he has someone who will read. I could picture Jimmy like getting into bed at night and having a girl and be like, "Hey, can you read me a chapter of Running the Light real quick?"
That would require Jimmy having a girl. And I don't think that unless he kidnapped her.
Some girl he met that night. Hey, can you? He brings her home she's thinking she's gonna get to hook up with him.
Yeah.
He just whips out Running the Light. He's like, "Can you read me chapter 1?" I've been stuck on this. I borrowed this from my buddy John. Oh man, but yeah, that special. What I liked about it a lot is that the entire thing felt so improvised. Even though I know damn well he's done that act all over. It felt so fresh in the. I mean, he probably definitely had some
a lot of it
moments.
was in the moment. Yeah,
he just. The way he is on stage with his stage presence, I guess I should say, is like just immaculate. It's something that I was in awe of the entire time watching the special.
Yeah, and he doesn't write anything at all.
Really?
Yeah, he doesn't write anything. He rips on stage.
He's the best Kill Tony
and then
judge.
Yeah, I love those are the only episodes I watch. But yeah, he just rips. He goes up on stage, he rips on stage, and fucking. Like
keeps the good
shit. Yeah, and that's crazy to me.
That is insane.
If I went and just riffed on stage, I would just start doing crowd work because I would have nothing.
If I riffed on stage, I'd just be like, "Hey, any ladies out there got a dick? Can I suck it?"
I mean, I can do it if like somebody's yelling out topics, but like or whatever, like I can do that. But like just to like come off of rip. Just like as soon as you walk up there and just start riffing on shit.
Yeah,
that takes a different. That's like a different muscle.
I've never done a topic show, but like GW told her Kegels joke right before I went up the other week, and I think I did a minute on Kegels because my mom's a yoga instructor who teaches Kegels in her yoga. So it just
is your mom single?
Yeah, she is. Indeed.
What's up, Mom? How you doing?
She doesn't watch these. Oh. She's ashamed of these podcasts. She wishes,
Damn.
She wishes I would go back to interviewing people with promising careers.
Shit, I know where your mom lives. I could just go over there and act like I'm a plumber or something.
Well, she does want me to get together a group of comedians to do a male yoga class because she teaches pelvic floor yoga, which is pussy yoga.
Yeah.
And so,
well, then why would we want to do her yoga class? I don't know.
Men have pelvic floors too. And
Okay.
Your pelvic floor is a man doing the exercise that these women do to it does a lot of things for them, not just strengthen their grip.
I'm not gonna lie. I didn't know I had a pelvic.
You have a pelvis. It's the hole.
A pelvis.
Yeah, it's the hole in your
dude.
It's the hole in your hip bone.
Did I ever tell you I failed biology 3 times? Like this is.
Well, I got 102%
not my subject
in anatomy class junior year.
Yeah, I guess that's anatomy, not biology. I'm so dumb when it comes to science, dude. When it comes to science, I am clueless, dude.
Oh my god.
I was terrible. That was my worst
biology,
subject.
But anatomy is just like, a more specified field of biology. I
yeah.
think. But yeah, if you work on your pelvic floor as a man and you strengthen those muscles, you strengthen your prostate, you lower your risk of cancer, you make your boners stronger, you lower your erectile dysfunction, and you're supposed to have bigger loads.
Okay.
It's so weird when your mom tells you that.
I like that.
So weird.
I don't know if I do like that. It'd be harder. It would take longer to clean up. I don't know.
That's not your problem.
Well, a lot of the times it is. I mean,
yeah, you're right.
let's be real.
I like to I like to shoot them right in the shower.
I go toilet.
Yeah, I mean the toilet's nice. It's fun when they hit the toilet. You ever hit the toilet and they do like the smoke rings in there?
I've never looked.
Look down when they hit next time.
I've never looked. No.
In the globs, the there's a couple globs that come out. The globs.
I mean, it's more like ropes, but
but the thicker
if you're
parts
shooting
of the
globs, you might need to get checked.
Well, there's like ropes with beads. It's like those Mardi Gras necklaces,
I think that's like some type of kidney stones or something. I don't know what. You have ropes with beads coming out of you?
I'm just saying it's not.
What are you?
It's like an elongated raindrop, Like there's a skinny end and a fat end. You know what I'm saying? There's a couple of those.
Maybe I've never looked, to be honest.
Well, when it hits,
sometimes I've had to clean it off the wall because I get a little too excited. But
well, it is a little dangerous when you're going for the toilet to hit the seat cover through the hole when you lift it up.
Yeah,
because. Sometimes you can't get it down in time. You got to crank that, that drive shaft.
Yeah, but I've hit above my counter a couple times.
That's a good one. You ever? I guess I'm just gonna admit this on the internet right now, but I've taken a couple shots to the jaw on a lay down.
No.
I splatted the back of my phone crazy.
I've never just like freely done the lay down jerk ever. I don't think.
So I do the lay down jerk.
I usually have something wrapped around
on the belly. Yes. I have something on the belly for catch stitch prepared, but sometimes
like a sock or something.
Yeah, a sock, like a
not on the belly, like around, like a wrapped around.
Oh,
never mind. We don't need to.
You don't need to.
We don't need to discuss this further.
Well, what if there's someone watching this podcast who doesn't know how? We need to teach you.
I mean, everybody's seen the Red Hot Chili Peppers video, right? You put a sock on your dick. It's not that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I've never done that.
Don't. It hurts.
Yeah, I hit the.
It's not.
What I do
great.
Is I'll set a white T-shirt. On the lower belly, lay down.
Yeah.
And it's sitting here. It's not necessarily in catch position, but it's ready for when time is ready.
Yeah.
So I'll get it ready and I'll kind of just blast on my own belly.
Do you ever listen to Bonfire?
No, I haven't.
You need a cum scroll, dude. That's what they have. They made Jacob a cum scroll. It's leather.
Oh.
And it's nice. I've seen it. It's on their Instagram page.
I've been using the same T-shirt since I moved here, and at the last house, that T-shirt didn't make it. But I had that one for years.
It's probably like a brick by now. I mean, what?
You lay it across your belly and it just stays folded.
Yeah, for sure it does, dude. That's crazy.
What am I gonna do?
One T-shirt? Yeah, or just don't use a T-shirt.
What am I gonna use?
Like a washcloth or something that you can easily just throw in the washer.
Well, I could throw that T-shirt in the washer.
You don't live with your mom. It's not like you have to hide shit.
Well, you never know. You don't live with a lady, man. You don't live with a lady who's supposed to be your sexual partner, and then she falls asleep. You still have a boner. What are you gonna do?
I think they understand that. I don't know.
I think they understand that, but if she found out that sometimes she falls asleep and I'm still up 2 hours later, and I'm like, well, let me reach under here and grab.
I think it would be more about what you're watching than what you're doing. I think that's.
You think those 6 ladies with dicks on my phone is gonna upset her?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh man,
or she just catch you looking at feet pics or something. I don't know. That's weird. That is a weird thing to me. I don't
like the toes, man.
No.
You never seen a lady in open toes?
I've always been disgusted by feet. I don't get it. I don't. Yeah, that's weird to me.
I see them. I'm like, get in my mouth now.
Like when when I'm going through like the quick scroll thing on the websites, and I see like a foot job video, I want to throw up. Like
really?
it's disgusting.
I watched the whole highlight clip 3 or 4 times through before I scroll past that one.
Well, no, they have
they
have it like TikTok now, where it's just fucking video after video.
Maybe I need to update my phone. Dude, I don't remember.
It's not healthy. It's terrible. It's terrible.
Hey, dude,
it is the worst idea ever.
I'm not drinking or smoking weed, and I'm going to be quitting vaping here when this vape runs out.
Yeah.
I'm going to need to jerk off more.
I'm giving up porn.
Really?
Yeah.
Whew.
It's not good for your brain. It's not.
Yeah.
I need to go back to the old-fashioned way of just like thinking of shit in my head, or I mean that can get dangerous
that
though.
Is dangerous.
Or
it's better.
Or maybe I'll start buying magazines again.
Okay, hear me out. Would you rather? Magazines is it's honestly a classy move in my opinion.
Dude,
VHS tapes even more classy.
That's all we had when I first started. Go back to the classic.
Well, getting a VHS porno is like having a record player in your house. Like,
yeah,
it's
forces you to watch the whole thing,
and it's classier than listening to music on your Bluetooth speaker.
Yeah, the trouble is with that is it's a lot. If you live with anyone, it's a lot. You have to be alone. Like there's no.
Yeah, because
there's no hiding a VHS tape.
Those vinyl records take up a lot of shelf space instead of those orange VHS tapes.
Yeah, the VHS tapes were always bad, dude. It is weird though that like I don't know. Maybe if maybe I could go back, have a spiritual experience, like go back to my childhood, pop on some Weezer and look at some magazines. It would be
so I think the brain's a little dangerous because if I watch a video of 7 girls with dicks doing all the things, I'm just watching a video. If I'm imagining and that's what's coming into my head, I came up with that.
Yeah, but if you're imagining, you can go anywhere you want, know?
But what if I don't like where it ends up?
What was the...
what if I morally don't like it, but my penis does?
Isn't it I can go anywhere?
I can go anywhere?
I can go anywhere. Yeah, the Reading Rainbow song.
I've never heard it.
You've never seen Reading Rainbow? Mm-mm. Holy shit, dude.
The Reading Rainbow.
That is crazy, dude. That is nuts.
The videos that I learned to read were leapfrog videos.
Yeah, but I can't believe when you're in elementary school or something and a teacher just wanted a day off, they didn't just show you Reading Rainbow. That's what ours always did.
Maybe I did. Was that conjunction junction?
No. That's completely different.
Oh.
Reading Rainbow was LeVar Burton, and he would go around and
read gay
explore cities and shit, but then he would read a book on it. Yeah, dude, Reading Rainbow was the shit, dude.
It was
Just take a look. It's in a book. It's Reading Rainbow.
Oh, take a look. It's in a book. I've seen that. Yeah. I've seen that on memes and stuff.
Yeah. That is fucking crazy to me that you don't know what Reading Rainbow is.
Yeah, I mean,
Jesus, dude.
We did the It's Just
I thought that was still around. I thought
it's on YouTube probably.
Somebody your age told me that they watched Reading Rainbow.
Well, I didn't go to public school.
Well, that's true too. Yeah, you probably had good teachers.
I did have good teachers, and I feel bad for all of them because good teachers aren't supposed to have students like me.
That is true.
They take lower pay to work at a private school where they're supposed to have more behaved children, and then I showed up and I hit a kid's head off the locker. And they're like, "What the shit? Get this kid in public school, stat!" Oh my gosh, I begged my parents to go to public school. I'd be like, "Let me go to public school. I want to go to public school. I hate all 27 kids in my class." They saw me do that crazy shit I did in 3rd grade, and it's 7th grade now, and they still talk about it. It's the same 27 kids I went to kindergarten with. I was like, by middle school. Yeah,
that's crazy.
By middle school, I was like,
I couldn't imagine that
shit.
And
the thing is, like, you don't realize that everyone doesn't hate you and think about the thing you fucked up in 2nd grade, you know?
Yeah.
But now I realize that. At the time, going to the school with the same 27 kids, you think everyone remembers every mistake from every grade that you made, and you're like, oh, every kid fucking hates me here.
I couldn't imagine that shit because I didn't have that at all because I.
Oh, you were Falls, right?
No, I did go to Cuyahoga Falls, but I moved to Cuyahoga Falls when I was in 8th grade, so I didn't like go to high school with the people that I grew up with.
Well, me neither.
Like so.
That was the best thing about high school is because I had 100 kids in my grade now, which was 4 times as large as anything I'd ever experienced.
Yeah,
and there was 400 kids in the school instead of 27 kids per grade.
Yeah.
Like the biggest class at my school, at my grade school, was like 40. And, I'm going to school, and there's kindergartners in the same building.
Yeah,
I'm in 8th grade.
That is
and there's
weird.
Kindergartners at the other end of the building.
That is weird.
Like, in 6th grade, I lost a tooth. I went down to the 1st grade classroom, and I got a piece of candy and traded it in.
Yeah, that is weird. I had the exact same setup here that I had in Texas, which was middle school was 6th, 7th, and 8th. Yeah, but I knew people that, like, I think Stowe was like 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th or something.
Dang. I don't think 5th graders should be in middle school. They're too young.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm talking out of my ass. I don't know if that's true or not. But
I mean, you might be right because I heard about.
I'm pretty sure
Manchester was talking about doing that, and I know my girls.
I can't believe Manchester has more than one school. To be honest,
they're the same class size as St. V. They're 100 kids a grade.
It didn't used to be. I know that. Well, that's newer for sure.
Manchester's like a good school district.
Yeah,
like it's not the best in the world, but it's a good school district, and it's right here in the suburbs,
Yeah. It's expanded, though, quite a bit because when my cousin went there, and she probably, I want to say she graduated, I was 04, so she was probably like 06, 07. I think she had like 26 kids in her graduating class.
Damn.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Manchester is going to end up being like a green, just a suburbia. Bunch of white people with big yards and the houses.
Yeah, it's white flight, dude. This is where they're coming. Like it's
Manchester.
It is.
Like what I know Manchester's past is it's like blue collar white. People who work, people who go work at B&W.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying though. It's people leaving the city to come here. That's basically. I mean, that's the tale of
people don't leave Manchester. They raise their kids next to 2 houses down.
Well, my cousin left Manchester.
Some people, I'm sure plenty of people do, but
to go to Cuyahoga Falls where she grew up.
Yeah,
but
a lot of people who are in a small town like this, like most of the people I meet here are just people who like a small town.
Yeah, dude. Most of the kids I grew up with in Texas still live in our town in Denison, Texas. Like they still live there today. Like it's crazy to me.
I can't stay in a small town forever.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I'm planning on moving to New York. So
are you going to go to New York? You're going to go live in New Jersey? Over there next to Joe List or whatever.
No, I think like I mean, I don't know yet. That's why I'm going to go several times between now and the time that I move because I want to
do some in-person like scouting.
Yeah, like I liked Brooklyn, but I haven't been to Queens yet, like Astoria and shit like that. Like I want to check that shit out.
But and here's the thing: like a lease is a year. Like you get out there, you could get a shit place.
Yeah,
and a year later you go, well, I've been out here to know where where to look now. Like now I've been out here a year. I know a lot more about like how things move and shake out here in New York.
Yeah.
And then
I know I wouldn't live in Manhattan though. It's like living in Manhattan is like,
don't you have to be rich for that?
Well, that or you have a like closet basically, you know, like it's
And Brooklyn's not like low, like cheap either, right?
It's not cheap, but you have more room. Like you're paying the same price that you're paying in Manhattan for like double the space, basically. You know, I mean, it's.
I'm not someone who needs a ton of space. Like this house is like decorated up. There's stuff all around here, but that's because my girl lives here. Like, if I just lived here by myself, when you walked into the living room, it would have been 2 folding chairs. The TV would have still been mounted, but there'd have been a 6-foot plastic table underneath the TV for my game console. And that would have been it. The living room would not be a couch and pictures on the wall and whatever that China hutch is.
I know people like that for sure. Still, like that are my age that still live like that, dude. It's crazy.
I don't need a lot to get by. I could sit in a chair and
I need a home. Like it's like I need enough space to have. I don't even care if my elliptical machine is in my living room, but that's something I need. Like,
shit. What do I need?
Especially if I'm planning on losing weight and keeping it off. Like that's a requirement.
You gonna hop on the shot? You can get the shot.
No, I'm not doing that because for one, I hate. I don't mind shots anymore because of like all of the like medical shit that I went through that all pretty much ended up just being anxiety.
Fun.
I had so many blood tests taken and shit, and with all of the like vaccines and shit and everything in the past couple years, like I no longer hate needles, but I don't think I could stick myself on a daily basis. Like that's
damn. It's daily.
Yeah,
I didn't know it was daily.
Yeah, Ozempic is daily. Yeah,
I just like I think
and it makes you hate food basically, which I don't want. I don't want that relationship with food either.
Yeah, I heard it makes you be able to quit nicotine as well.
Yeah, it like
calms your urges.
Yeah, I forget what it has something to do with. It has something to do with serotonin.
Yeah, but it probably breaks like that cycle of like your serotonin drops, and you crave that nicotine or that comfort food, and it does something in that where maybe it keeps your serotonin level so it doesn't have.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Yeah,
that would be my guess. I'm no.
That's what I've heard. It's funny to me that I can't tell you what like a muscle is on my body, but I can. But if it's something to do with drugs, I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's this, and I'm usually right. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it's
so funny weird that everyone is so like informed about medicine. Like when I was a kid, people I feel like didn't. Like maybe they did, maybe the adults did, but I feel like adults didn't talk about their medical stuff so much with each other, and now like everyone is just like, oh yeah, I'm on this medication, and like that's like small talk nowadays. Is like, here's the medications I'm on. Oh, I heard of that one.
Well, I mean, there's all kinds of shit. People are more open now. I think healthcare is taken more seriously now. For one thing, most people have insurance now, whereas before that wasn't a thing. So, I mean, you could though. It's just you know.
I could. I just haven't called the guy and signed up for the thing.
But like, I mean, 10 years ago, nobody talked about like going to therapy or anything, and I'll fucking talk about that with anybody who wants to know, because it's literally like saved my life. Like it's been crazy. Like this is the first year I started therapy last year. This is the first year in a long time that like the holidays didn't like send me into like a depression spiral.
Dude, that's actually me too. This is my first year where I didn't get depressed during the holidays, but I attributed all to the holidays. Everything that bothered me about the holidays that like I would get all insecure and weird about is just gone because I have a daughter, and now
it's about her,
and now Christmas was 100% about her, and I was able to remove myself from I just was thinking about this earlier today. I was like, man, usually like I'm not doing good around this time of the year, and I'm so focused on my daughter that my problems like I'm not overthinking my own problems because I have other. I'm just where I'm like, oh, is she doing all right? What do I need to do for her? And it's weird that being a parent, you think it's going to add all this stress to your life, but it actually made all my stress, like my personal stress, seem more irrelevant.
Yeah.
Where, I mean, obviously my life's more stressful and complicated overall, but my personal things that I used to worry about aren't as big a deal to me.
Yeah, because you're just worried about her.
So weird.
And when you have like responsibility for somebody else, so it takes away the attention from you. For me, like that, one of the reasons why I had a lot of mental health problems was because of the fact that I am I'm the single uncle, and every holiday, not only is it a thing where like I looked at it like I have to go over to my parents' house and hang out with my brothers and their happy families and blah blah blah, you know, like that thing. And then it was also like
yeah, but you don't have any lady telling you what to do. That's also like you got. That's I feel like when you're. I mean, I'm obviously not single, but when you are single, like I tell this to my little brother, who's like he's 22 almost. He'll be 22.
Yeah,
and you know he'll be talking to a girl, and I'll be like, you know, just don't forget to appreciate the novelty of being single and getting a text and going, oh, Jim's having something at his house. Be on my way.
Yeah, but that novelty wears off after like a decade.
Probably.
You know?
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, it's like it was that, and it was the whole thing where like I spent a shit ton of money on Christmas every year and didn't really get much back. You know what I mean? Like, because it's like I'm buying for the kids, I'm buying for my brother and their wives, and like buying for my parents, and then I get
the
like
kids, the brother and the wife give you one thing together.
Yes. And that really bothered me. And going to therapy, my therapist was like, well, that's not a healthy way to think about things. You need to just worry about what you're putting out into the world and not really care about what's reciprocated back to you. And then he fucking like basically, I don't know what people think about therapy. Like, it's not somebody telling you something. It's somebody sitting there and listening, and you working out the shit on your own most of the time. Like that's, and them just giving you input.
I want someone to solve my problems.
I mean, it does though. You talk them out yourself, and then they steer you in the right direction.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like that's like with him, it was like he made me realize that comes from my Sicilian upbringing, like from my mom, and it was her upbringing where like they are very much tit for tat with family. Like it's, you know, where it's like they'd be like, are we going to so-and-so's wedding? And be like, I don't think we should go. They didn't go to our kid's wedding. You know, like that's how I was always raised. So it was like that was like a fucking weird complex in my head. And I had to like realize that to get past that. And now like this year, I really just like enjoyed watching my nieces opening their gifts that I got them. I enjoyed watching my parents open their gifts that I got them, and I just didn't give a shit what I got. Wow. You know what I mean? Like
that's so funny because our Christmas problems, like what bothered us about Christmas is the opposite. Because for me, I love spending every dollar in my bank account to get everyone the coolest gift I can find for them.
Yeah.
In my family, you know, like I'll go negative for a freaking cool Christmas gift, and I've always had the problem where like, not necessarily material possessions, but like money, like things you're supposed to care about. I just don't have it in me to like worry about money or bills or myself, like my own problems. Like I would so much rather, like I would host a party and invite my friends over at college and host the party, and I would have negative money in my bank account, but I bought drinks for everybody just because like
I've never been like that. That is like I've always had that in my head. It's fucking upbringing, dude. That's all it is.
To be the other way, it's no better because I will let not everyone is gonna be the way I am. Like I'm a person who's gonna give everything and just be like, oh well, if I give everything to everybody, if I need help, someone will offer me help.
Yeah.
And people don't offer.
Yeah,
help.
that's not the case.
People don't offer you help, and
Yeah.
people notice that you're giving and just take.
Yeah.
And you end up down and out and just giving your shit away. But like my problem with Christmas was always I hate opening presents. I hate people giving me stuff. I hate receiving gifts. It makes me physically uncomfortable.
Oh, I love it.
Like when
I still like opening gifts. Like it was.
I don't have my birthday public. Like my birthday is not on social media. Like it's not public knowledge because I get uncomfortable when people text me happy birthday.
Yeah, that's a problem on social media for sure.
So I have my birthday private. Like you can't go to my Facebook and see my birthday.
I hate that shit too. It's like, dude,
don't text me if you don't talk all year.
Right. We haven't talked since like high school, but except for when you tell me happy birthday every year. You know what I mean?
But
like, that's stupid.
It's so funny because like my complex with Christmas is like I don't deserve anything.
Yeah.
And yours is like, well, I'm giving you this. Like you should be you should be doing what I'm doing.
But I also realize it's not just with Christmas, it's with everything in my life.
Yes,
like when my mom would be like, "Hey, did you talk to your brother?" And I'm like, "Well, no, he hasn't called me." You know what I mean? Like that's and it's like, "No, just call him." Like you don't have to fucking sit there and I treated relationships with women like that too, and that's why a lot of them
keeping score in a relationship will kill it real quick.
That's why a lot of them just kind of end up fading before they turn into anything because
you're keeping track.
Yeah, like I've always done that, and it's something that.
And when you have the tally marks in your head, you're like 1 blowjob, 6 pussy eats. Yeah, what's going on here?
It's even more micro than that. It's just like, well, I texted her last. I'm not going to text her again. You know what I mean? Like that kind of shit.
Well, and then you get to the point where if you move in with a lady, that's when that really fucks you up, and that is one of like a problem that I mean I'll still deal with, but like, and I think most relationships, it's the biggest problem is keeping score when it comes to household chores. Like, how many chores am I doing? How many chores are you? When you start keeping track of how many chores you're doing and trying to be like, well, I'm doing more chores than you, because everyone thinks they're doing more chores than their roommate.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks they're
well, I mean, the woman should do more chores, right?
Yeah, I mean, what is this?
I'm totally kidding.
I mean, she's a stay-at-home mom with the baby.
Yeah.
And I'm going to work every day like a man. I don't even hit her.
I mean, dude. I mean, I think honestly, with the age that your daughter's at, being a stay-at-home mom is probably way worse than going to work, dude.
No, it's the best, dude. I want to be a stay-at-home dad like so
dude,
bad.
That's a lot.
I'm a baby
person.
That's
a lot.
I'm like a baby person. I'm like give me more babies. Like I want more babies. I'm obsessed with these.
Is your baby to the point where she's like just trying to stick shit in her mouth all the time?
Yes,
like
always.
Yeah, dude. That's a lot of work, dude.
She throws stuff in the trash. That's her thing right now. Is she'll get your phone and walk over to the trash can and
hell yeah,
drop it in.
That's awesome.
It's so funny.
I love that kid. That's awesome.
She's hilarious, dude. And she's a natural dancer. What we found out when she started like walking.
I mean, all kids are, dude.
Yeah.
This is one thing that like every parent thinks their kid is like amazing because they're dancing to music, and also like they'll say like one word that you didn't hear them say, and you'd be like, she's so smart, dude.
Yeah.
She's going to be reading it like fucking 3, dude. She's the smartest.
Everything she does, we're like, oh my God, she's so fucking perfect. Like, I mean, that's just how you have to be as a parent, though.
Yeah. You should be, yeah.
But yeah, she's a, like.
I mean, if not, you just fucking leave, you know? Like, why would you stick around if they're a dumb kid?
put her on the layaway payment plan, you know?
Yeah. I mean, if you have a dumb kid, you pretty much have to leave. Like, that's. You can't do anything. You can't do anything about it.
Like, I think like half of this country has like 70 IQ. Like there's a 50-50 chance, right?
Yeah, and they should be orphans. Like that's I don't
know. We just need to open the shoe factories here. We need a place for these kids to go.
Yeah.
I think bring back child labor would solve a lot of problems around this country.
That's why I wear exclusively Nike sneakers.
Do they have school shootings in China? No.
I have read that it's like okay now to buy Nike sneakers. I don't know if it's true. Somebody's probably gonna
really. I've been
yell at me about that.
I've been off Nike for a while because of the thing, but I still wear Nike because I like it. But I only buy Nike secondhand, so I'm not directly paying Nike. Like I'll buy it at the thrift store.
Yeah, I've heard that there's no child labor involved anymore. Like it's more strictly regulated now. Which, I mean, I'm not saying they wouldn't do it if they could.
Do the shoes still hold up?
Yeah, they're nice.
They still have quality.
Which is weird because you'd think like people with bigger fingers wouldn't be able to make good enough shoes.
Good, yeah.
But they're fine, dude.
As long as they're still making the phones. You can't put these kids out of work forever.
I mean, maybe like these are Flyknit, so I think like maybe they like I don't know, like maybe they get those ladies that like bind books to do these.
When we put these regulations in place to stop the child labor, did we ever consider these families that these kids were providing for?
Yeah, I mean,
did we ever stop and consider the income that they're bringing home?
Yeah,
they're out here.
I think they get like stipends for that now.
Do they? That'd be nice.
Yeah,
if they get paid.
it's communist, so it's they probably get food and shit.
Man, it's crazy that like you hear all these things about China. You hear it, and it's hard to picture the society in China because you hear, oh, they have these 3-year-olds doing these swimming obstacle courses.
Yeah,
and then like doing math, like they have these crazy.
I mean,
school
that's
programs.
racist, dude. But it's
yeah. But like you'll see these things, and it'll be like, yeah, over in China, this is the education. Like blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
We start educating them at 1. We're doing this, and then it's like, but also we have kids who make 3 cents making Like, how do you like? Is it all just like you're just born in the wrong part of China?
I mean, I think any part of China is the wrong part of China. It's literally.
We're pro CCP on the Duke It Out podcast.
I mean, dude, it's.
You can actually go back and check. I've been pro CCP on every episode of this podcast because I
don't understand the wealth in China. Is what I don't understand because it's like you're either super wealthy or you're just like everybody else, which is. I mean, I
just think the gap between the richest and the poor here is pretty bad. But when you see China, you're like, oh shit,
yeah,
this is communism. The gap's supposed to be smaller, and I think it's bigger because like half the videos I see on Facebook are like the most high tech Chinese stuff, and then it's somebody smoking a cigarette in a field with their 3-hour-old.
Yeah. I mean, I'm proud of you though. I thought you said you were gonna say most of the videos you see from China are on trains, but I don't know. It's weird though that I don't know. Like I think like have you seen the Shenyun?
Mm-mm.
Is that it?
I haven't seen that.
So there's billboards everywhere for it. It's like Shenyun, I think is what it's called. And it's like they're banned from China. It's like the alternate political party that has like some type of like musical or something that they do at like Playhouse Square and shit like that.
Wait, so they're a band from China?
No,
no.
Like they're banned. They're banned. They're like the opposition party.
Because you said band, and that's what I took at first, and then you said musical performance, and I was like, wait.
No, it's like a play / musical kind of. Nobody really knows because you're not allowed to. You're not allowed to take video. There's no video of it anywhere online, so you don't know what it is. But it does say that it's China before communism, basically.
Huh.
So yeah, they're very
back when, like Naruto was running around and stuff.
I don't know what is that anime?
Yeah.
Is that Japanese?
Naruto is written in Japan but takes place in China. In the feudalistic.
I didn't know there was Chinese anime.
It's a Japanese anime. It's made in Japan, written by Japanese people.
Oh, I didn't know that was allowed.
The set and setting is feudalistic
I'm
China.
surprised there wasn't a fucking war started over that. Like that's.
Yeah, well,
that seems like
it takes place in Nanking.
That seems like it would piss China off pretty bad.
Well, it's not like real China, but it's feudalistic China is like the time frame.
Yeah.
So like the culture is like ramen houses in China. You know, like they're ninjas.
Okay.
And so ninjas are Japanese,
You
but
don't
they're
have to say that.
samurais. But yeah,
You don't have to say ninjas.
I
think that there's no
Naruto is a ninja show. It's about a tribe
Okay.
of ninjas.
Well, yeah, but there's not. I thought ninjas were Japanese. Ninjas are
They are.
Chinese.
It's all Japanese culture and stuff, but for some reason they took Chinese feudalism to be the like set and setting for the world.
Huh.
Yeah, Naruto's like
That is crazy.
Yeah, Naruto's a show written in the 90s,
Yeah.
late 90s, early 2000s, maybe like 98 something.
Okay.
But let's get to this. Let's get to this bucket here.
Yeah.
We'll do a couple out the bucket. We talked a lot over the the time here, so we'll just do 2 or 3 buckets here.
All right.
And wait. Let me explain the bucket real quick. This is the big black container, the BBC of the show. We reach and touch the BBC and we pull out a word, and whatever word you choose, you have to duke it out and prove that your thing is better than the other person's thing. You've seen Argument Podcast. You've seen people talk who's better, LeBron or Jordan. But you've never seen someone ask who's better, LeBron or a grilled cheese sandwich. These are the kind of debates we're having on the Duke It Out podcast. The real world debates that people really want to hear. Let's get to it.
I'm suspicious that LeBron is in here every time.
He is in here. I got JFK. JFK's pretty good, man. JFK's pretty hard to beat. I wish I knew more about JFK.
Fantasy football.
Oh, JFK versus fantasy football.
Okay. All right.
Well,
shoot your shot.
I think JFK is more important than fantasy football because once you're done with fantasy football, all you have left is JFK theories.
But you're never done with fantasy football, so that's
I guess you don't
kind of irrelevant.
Yeah, you don't retire from fantasy football.
No, there's no being done with fantasy football is for life. I've been in my latest league for 20 years. What did JFK do for 20 years? Fuck whores? Like that's
a good point on my side. Does does fantasy football get pussy? No, JFK does.
JFK did for sure.
JFK does beat fantasy football in the pussy category.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you get less pussy if you're obsessed with fantasy football. That's a fact. Or you're married and you're already getting less pussy, I guess. So, I don't know. I think fantasy football is better because it's still alive. It's relevant. It's here. You know what I mean?
I don't think JFK's dead. We're still talking about him.
He's pretty dead. I don't know if you saw the video.
Metaphysically, yeah, for sure.
Okay.
But the idea of JFK is still alive.
I think his ideas were all exploded at the same time.
Well, our idea of him will never die. I mean, also, is fantasy football even cool enough to have the CIA mad at it?
Maybe.
Okay, honestly,
I mean,
I could see fantasy football like if they did something the CIA didn't like.
Yeah,
like, it is influential enough.
Also, like sports betting is something that like the CIA might get involved with at some point in time.
If they aren't already.
I mean, maybe.
We don't know what they're up to now. We'll
yeah,
find out
dude,
in
you
20
can
years.
change the world with sports betting, dude. Like people can get rich off of it. Rich people can get poor off of it. It's
man. So what I really need is my CIA agent to start rooting for my parlays.
Yeah. Or
I think
I don't know. Fantasy football never started a war.
Yeah, but fantasy football never tried to get
Did
rid.
JFK start a war?
No, JFK didn't start a war. I don't think. Was that during Korea? Was that Korea?
Oh, we're so fucking dumb.
It's hard to put the time together because he was 62, 63 he died, I think. Man, it's...
Oh, yeah, the Bay of Pig shit happened with JFK.
The Bay of Pigs was JFK?
Yeah.
Man,
that's why the CIA killed him, I thought.
No, the CIA killed him because he was trying to take out the national, the money, the national bank or whatever, the whatever. What's it called? The Treasury.
I'm pretty sure the Bad Pigs was JFK.
It might have been JFK, but Bay of Pigs might have been. Let's Google it real quick.
I was gonna say, yeah, dude. You know what's better than Google?
What?
Chat GPT.
Oh, it is. Yeah, you're right. Kennedy was in 61, and honestly, I'm very impressed that I had the time frame 62, 63 for him dying.
That's pretty
like
impressive.
His presidential time frame.
Yeah, I know my parents. I think my parents were in middle school, maybe.
God, my parents were in their father's ball sacks.
Yeah, I think my parents were in like middle school when that happened. I'm pretty sure. It's weird to me that is their 9/11.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Like, yeah, like JFK being assassinated.
They really used to do more assassinations. They used to be on that shit.
Yeah, this generation's 9/11 is the pandemic, I think.
That's our 9/11.
I mean, it's dude. I was talking about this last night.
Until I finish what I'm done with.
This generational gap is the biggest it's ever been, and it's because of the pandemic. Like, the people that were in high school or in like their first year of college,
my brother was
in 2020. Like, they fucked them up so bad.
He was a senior,
dude. It's so weird to like
his second half of his senior year, his prom, his graduation, all that's gone.
Yeah.
His first semester of college was spent doing from home learning for the first. They didn't start classes until the very end of the semester. Once they had like a testing protocol in place for the dorm, they had to make all these protocols and to be able to have college. They had to make all these systems to make sure all the kids weren't just spreading COVID through the dorms.
Yeah, dude, they lived on the internet, and because of that, they became obsessed with culture wars, and it's like,
I do think though that
it's crazy, dude.
In general, like my generation, like even me, like I cared more about politics when I was 16 than I do now.
With me, it was because my parents started caring way too much. Well, my dad in particular. Like, I got my dad into politics during the pandemic, and I regret it so much.
I was 16 in 2016.
Yeah.
And we had government class that year. And
that had been crazy, dude.
Government class during the Trump and Hillary. Dude, I used to come in and, like, I was, like, not, like I wasn't, like into it where, like, I cared about the outcome.
Yeah.
But I was, like, into it where, like, I enjoyed like just slamming kids in debate in class. And I was there was only a couple of us. Most people, when we did the presidential debates, we'd do them a couple times as they were going, we'd debate presidents and who should be president next in class. And
hell yeah,
we did it for a while. I would switch sides and just change points because I was better at arguing than a lot of the kids.
Yeah.
And so I'd switch sides like all the time and just literally use the good points that people used against me in the past debates.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, that was a good point. I'm going to use that. I was just enjoying trolling people. And like, I'd know who really cared, like who was the extreme conservative kid and who was the extreme liberal kid. And that's who I'd fuck with in the class.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, and I wouldn't even care if my thing was right. It was more about just like getting the debates out of hand in class and just making the teacher's day hard.
Yeah. I've always been pretty extremely liberal. But like my dad being so obsessed with Trump,
no, dude,
is like, it has turned me off to where I really, I mean, I give a shit. Like I've never missed voting. And I always vote blue, but
I was 8 years old in 2008. Like, show me the birth certificates.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude. Yeah, dude.
When you're 8, you just are repeating what you hear at home.
Yeah, yeah. No, my dad is obsessed the other way with Trump. He's like all he talks about is how Trump should be in jail and all this shit. And I'm like, yeah, dude, we all know that, but it's like, it's not
I mean, this is America. That's not how jail works, dude.
Yeah, well, it's not gonna happen ever because he just gets out of everything. Like that's just.
Well, you don't.
He's very good at getting out of everything.
If you have close to $1 billion, you don't do time. That's not how this country is set up.
Yeah. I mean, unless you steal billions of dollars from other people, and then you end up doing time. But it's
the only
Bernie Madoff.
Yeah, the only way someone in that billionaire class can get in any trouble is if they piss off other people in their class.
Right. Yeah.
That's the only way they can ever receive any punishment.
Yeah, and then they're like, "What are you gonna do about it?" And they're like, "We'll tell people about your island," and then that's what happens.
And then you're gonna kill yourself.
Yeah. It's it's something that like I don't know. I still care. It's just I'm tired of hearing about this shit all the time because every time I talk to my dad, it's something.
I mean,
because all he does is watch like CNN, CNBC, and he'll even switch over to Fox News a lot of times to see what they're talking about.
Yeah.
But it's just like it's to be that obsessed with the news, and it was me at one time, but because it's my dad, I don't know. It's just not.
Yeah, I remember I had you on my podcast like 3 years ago. We talked about the news for like 45 minutes.
Yeah, I want to talk to my dad about other shit. I'm grabbing another.
Let's get another debate.
Item. Oh my God!
What do you get?
The Winter Olympics.
I got Saudi Arabia. Well, guess what? You guys can't come to where I'm at. You can't come to Saudi Arabia and have. Actually, you know what? Saudi Arabia is so badass that they might have the Winter Olympics somehow.
Dude, I would not be surprised.
Honestly.
You can in international sports you can do anything with the right amount of money. But the Winter Olympics is better than Saudi Arabia just because there's no scorpions in the Winter Olympics, and
yeah, but you know what is in the Winter Olympics that's not tolerated in Saudi Arabia? Women.
Yeah, so you're arguing for Saudi Arabia or against Saudi Arabia?
I'm arguing for Saudi Arabia. I'm saying no women are in line.
I mean, I like women. I don't know.
Yeah, me too.
And like, yeah, I don't know. They don't. The Winter Olympics doesn't like kill and dismember journalists. You know, like that's.
I mean, I guess that's
a
depending
plus.
On your personal standpoint. That could be a plus. Where I'm coming from, pro Saudi Arabia, we look at that in Saudi Arabia as effective leadership.
Okay.
That's what we call effective leadership.
Sure, you could put it that way if you want to, but like, I don't know. The Winter Olympics like has always allowed women to drive. You know. I mean,
they have those bobsleds and stuff.
Yeah, bobsleds, ice skates.
Has the Winter Olympics always allowed women? Is Winter Olympics like something they invented, like post women?
Women might have been first in the Winter Olympics. I don't know.
Ice skating is pretty ladylike.
Yeah, I mean that's weird, but all right. Yeah, it's.
Dude, I mean, I'm just saying, if you could watch the skating that's like for style.
Yeah.
Are you gonna watch the women or the men?
I honestly...
They're both on at the same time. You can only watch one.
I honestly would watch the men.
No way. Really? I think women are...
Just
when it comes...
Simply for the fact that my favorite Will Ferrell movie is Blades of Glory, and I'm kind of hoping to see someone...
Who is him?
As charismatic as Chaz Michaels.
Oh, my gosh.
That's my goal in watching the Winter Olympics, and it's never happened yet.
I just think one thing people don't like talk about enough is that women are beautiful flowers. And
okay. I don't know
when they do things like ice skating or dancing, gymnastics, there's something women can do that like puts you in a state of like, oh my gosh, I'm seeing art with their bodies.
Yeah.
And like skating, dancing, stuff like when it comes to like skating, like style skating like that, like women have a way that men do not of grace. That it's like they have this like this almost like when you see a flower, you go, wow, that's pretty. And women, I feel the same way about women that I do about flowers. Like they have like women don't understand this about themselves. Like, they don't see it that way. But to me, all women have something where I'm like, oh, hey, That's a nice flower right there.
True, but I don't think I've ever met a woman that has a brush made of whalebone.
Yeah. No, I don't think I have either.
I don't know.
I don't think there's many women whaling.
All right, you're done with Saudi Arabia. You haven't talked about it for a minute. Let's do one more.
Yeah, let's get one more, and then we're out of here. We actually just hit an hour 2 minutes ago.
Okay. I have the Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl, that's hard to beat. The Super Bowl is pretty good. The deep state.
Jesus, dude.
Well, if it were a fight, we win.
Well, yeah.
The NFL
if there is a deep state.
The NFL, well, you know what? Some of those guys who run the football teams might be involved.
You know what? I think Jerry Jones possibly. Actually, probably for sure.
He's in the Illuminati.
Because I think of the deep state differently than most people that live in Manchester think of the deep state. I think of
like the head of the CIA who isn't voted. That's what I think of as the deep state.
Nah, see, I think that like the deep state is just like the old
head way, like
Mitch McConnell, like
see,
fucking what's the other old guy's name in the Senate? I can't.
I don't know any
Chuck
senators.
Grassley, like those guys, like the old Southern Republicans that are still probably in the KKK.
Yeah,
secretly. I mean, I'm just saying, like you're not fucking innocent if you're like 80 years old and you're from Kentucky. Like there's some racism in your closet. You know what I mean? Like it's
as long as it stays in the closet.
Yeah. And
keep it in the closet.
You're definitely friends with Jerry Jones. That's
yeah. See,
for sure.
So how I understand the deep state, it's all the positions in government, like the director of the CIA and people in cabinets and people who have hired positions that have power that aren't voted. That's to me.
No, that's just the privilege of the president. It gets to appoint who they want to appoint.
Not necessarily the cabinet, but the head of the CIA and.
I mean, the president appoints the CIA director.
Yeah, different departments and stuff. But some of these people will stay in for there's people who have been.
Yeah, that's not the deep state. That's just the state. That's State Department employees. It's not the deep state. They're just the state.
No, I think that's
we know who they are.
Yeah, you know who they are, but
they're.
The deep state. It's
not secretive, though.
I don't think it's supposed to be a secret. I think it's the people that you have no say in, and that they're keeping their positions through relationships in D.C. And you, as a voter, can't control the deep state, but you control you have a say in what happens in the state. But the deep state is those people who maintain their positions through the votes and through the changes in office. Those are the deep state people who have kind of sunk their way in deep into the government in a position where they can't be moved, and they sit there.
They can all be moved, man. Look at the Patriots. I mean, they can all be brought down at some point.
Yeah,
like the Patriots just cheated and scandaled their way to how many Super Bowls? I lost count. I don't know. Like it's just and Tom Brady's the greatest. Whatever. I don't know. The Super Bowl is always going to be better than anything else in American life because it's the only thing that everybody gets together and does. Like there's less. I don't know if this is true, but I would bet that there are less people that don't watch the Super Bowl than
that don't watch it.
I bet there's more people that watch the Super Bowl than people. There's definitely more people that watch the Super Bowl than people who vote.
Probably, yeah. But
I'm gonna say definitely.
Even if they all decided to vote, the deep state would remain unaffected.
No, that's not true. That is not true because all of those positions that you're talking about are appointed by the president. So if you vote for who you want as president, then
is the head of the? I think the head of the CIA hasn't.
No, they're definitely appointed by the president.
Is a hired-in guy who works his way up through the CIA ranks.
No, they're appointed by the president.
I didn't know.
Same as the head of the FBI. Yeah.
I thought only the FBI.
No, the head of the CIA is appointed by the president.
I didn't know that.
But
Well, if we're imagining the deep state like Incognito Inc., like, freaking Skull and Bones deep state.
Yeah, Jerry Jones.
Yeah, those guys. If we're imagining that deep state, I would say that deep state is one of the only people who could actually do some damage to the Super Bowl.
Maybe, but if this is what I've never understood about the deep state. Okay, that like people are so worried about the deep state all the time. This is what I don't get: is that the deep state is supposed to be like the old school,
the
politicians of the United States, right? All of those people hated Donald Trump. That's the whole reason why he ended up running for president, is because those people hated him. He was never accepted into elite circles, and he was pissed about that, and then Obama made fun of him, so he ran for president. That's the whole reason behind Trump running for president. So if all of those people hated him, and those are the deep state, like that's the deep state, then they're not very good at what they do because he got elected.
Yeah, but they are trying. They're trying to catch him in everything they can.
He's committed crimes. Like, it's not. The dude tried to overturn the election. He influenced people to try to infiltrate the Capitol. Like, it's not. It happened on live television. It's not like it's like a secret.
Pretty badass.
Like, but I'm saying, like, it's like, that's what I'm saying. When somebody, I forget who it was, somebody said that Trump could shoot somebody in Times Square and get away with it, and that's basically what he's done metaphorically.
Yeah,
like,
he wouldn't be the first guy,
No. But there's never been a president that has gotten away with more shit than Donald Trump, and it's all because he controls the media. Because whenever he's
modern, I say it's hard to say because we don't know anything about what those 1 through 10.
I'm not saying he controls the media like his money controls the media. He controls the media because he is ratings.
Oh yeah,
and so
who doesn't want to watch him?
Right, and so he basically controls the media narratives all the time.
Oh yeah, he's entertainment.
Yeah, and that went away for a little bit when they banned him from Twitter, but eventually, whenever it became time for him to start running for president again, the media obviously didn't learn any lessons from before and just treated him the exact same as they did before he
because trying to spin trying to like take this, like, not necessarily spin, but trying to take the angle on what you put up his speech, right, on your news network. And you tell your angle on, like, this is crazy. He's saying this. Why? That's so, like, you try and do that angle. Half the people watching, all they're hearing is what he's saying and not what you're saying about what he's saying.
100%. Yeah.
That's
why it's irresponsible news coverage, but they still do it.
Yeah.
They still play his speeches in whole, and don't even fucking fact check him or anything during it. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, it's funny to me that that most of his supporters hate, like, CNN and MSNBC and all those channels, when those channels are the reasons why he got elected.
But
like,
I know
crazy.
Trump supporters. They talk about it. They're like, CNN just helps us. They say that. They know it. They know that CNN.
They're not that smart. Most of them. They're not.
I've heard it from multiple.
Maybe
Trump
some
supporters.
that you know, but like most of them aren't that intelligent.
There's no need to be intelligent anymore. Nobody is nuanced, and they're making their own opinions on things. Why would you be intelligent when half the shit you see is made up? You're on social media, you see shit that's made up all day long, so you just go, all right, well, I'm going to pick what's made up and what I think is real, and you think, oh, this is made. You just decide that's made up about Trump and that's real, even if you might be 100% wrong, but in your reality, you're making an intelligent decision in your reality where you because everyone has their own reality of what's true and what's false anymore, because truth has been lost. There is no more common truth. You can't just, let's agree that this is true, because if I believe it's not true and you believe it's true, guess what?
No, it's the difference is that there are websites and media outlets that tell the truth and are fact checked and are reliable sources, And the problem is that half the country doesn't believe that. And so,
well, and that's going into what I'm saying is people choose what's true and choose what's false off of a
they'd
feeling.
rather get their news on rumble.com or Reddit threads, and they think that that's the truth, and it's not. It's crazy to me that, like, it makes sense to me whenever people my parents' age are like that, because they didn't grow up with the internet and they don't know how to tell the truth from the fake shit. But my generation and the generations after me, I don't understand how anybody doesn't understand what's real and what's not. Like, we grew up with it. Like, how do you not know?
I don't.
Like,
I mean, it's hard. It's hard for me to tell. I'll see stories, like, not like big. I mean, I'll see stuff, and it's hard to tell what's real and what's fake when you're scrolling anymore.
All you have to do is fucking click on it and read the article and see who reported on it.
Well, I'm not talking about articles.
That's the thing. People only read headlines, and half the headlines are bullshit because they're clickbait. Like, that's...
Yeah, but, like, people will, there's all these, like, there's videos that people are making of, they're like, that to carry their agenda. There are fake videos out there, and people see a video and they take it as a news story.
Yeah. Well, the only reason Biden's poll numbers are so low is because of the narrative that the media keeps spreading, and the Donald Trump supporters keep making mashup videos of him to make people think that he's incapable of being president. And
I love those videos, dude.
And
it's so funny.
But it's like, that's what people really think at this point, and they don't see the fact that he's literally gotten more done than any president in my lifetime.
Yeah,
like,
nobody cares about the news.
Which is fucking...
There's a funny meme on Instagram.
Yeah.
There's a funny meme on Instagram that says Biden doesn't know how to say a sentence. That's so much funnier and so much better.
And meanwhile, there's bridges.
Reading about that. Reading about the active policy.
Yeah, and meanwhile, there's bridges being built and jobs being created, and and gas prices going down and inflation at the lowest rate in the entire world. Like, it's. I mean, literally, we have the lowest inflation rate in the entire world.
Yeah, but
out of all the other industrialized countries.
Would you rather read about statistics, or would you rather watch a funny video of someone doing an impression of Biden falling off a bike?
I'd rather read statistics. I'd rather see what's being done.
I
care about the future of the country. I don't care about...
I do too, and that's why I'm calling for an uprising.
I don't care about what our politicians are I don't care about what our politicians do in their spare time. I don't give a shit.
You know what's super upsetting?
I care about what they do.
As like a conspiracy theorist, like I'm a conspiracy theorist, like anti-government kind of wacko guy. Like that's just kind of how I get along. And when they finally stormed the Capitol and it wasn't as cool as I wanted, like I expected, like I was like, I've always been like, oh, one day we're gonna go as the people and we're gonna make the changes. Like we're gonna go in there.
No, dude, that was. You know who those people were that stormed the Capitol?
Well, they're not.
Those were the kids. Those were the kids that whenever you were a little kid and you played army with your friends, and the one kid showed up in full camouflage. Like that's who that kid grew up to be. Is somebody who believed in just bullshit so much that they decided to fuck up the rest of their lives by storming the Capitol. That's...
So one thing I heard about the Capitol thing that people, I haven't heard a lot of people say, is that majority of the people there were like, Trump people. But last minute, like they got a bunch of the conspiracy people who weren't necessarily Trump supporters, who were like just anti-government crazies, like very like they've been waiting for the day to get into the Capitol.
Yeah.
And they got a small, like not the most of the people there, but they got a big chunk of people to make their group bigger by tricking those people in to their little Trump escapade.
Yeah, dude.
Which is sad because those are my people. those are my friends.
Your friends that fucking stormed into a fucking pizza parlor in D.C. with an assault rifle.
Yes, those are my
thinking that
guys.
There were kids in the basement when there was no basement.
Dude, I was like the Area 51 storming. I was trying to get a ticket, bro.
God.
Dude, That's my shit right there. Is like the aliens, that's what. Oh man, wait, we don't have any more time here today.
Yeah.
We got to get to the show, but man, where are the fucking aliens, man? Show them to me.
They're at Mara Lago.
Honestly, we should start a subreddit. Trump's got aliens at Mar-a-Lago.
He brought him. He fucking brought him. He couldn't. They told him they would kill him if he told the world that there were aliens. So he brought him with him.
Yeah, they were.
That was his compromise.
Trump was trying to prove to us. He was trying to show.
He's
us,
shown them to people for sure.
Yeah, if Trump has the aliens, he's
showing them.
He's like, bro, look at this selfie.
Yeah.
Dude, here's our story, right? We're going for those same January 6th people. That's our target audience. Trump wanted to show us true Americans that the aliens were real, and he was on our side like he always is.
I don't think he knows. I really don't. That's the truth. I think if there were aliens,
I don't know. They let Nixon know.
I think if there were aliens, and Trump is different than Nixon. Nixon was a crook. Trump is a crook who loves to brag, and I think that like if there were aliens,
he's like, I know about the aliens.
Yeah,
they told me about the aliens.
The CIA was like, we can't tell this motherfucker about the aliens, dude. He's gonna tell everybody.
But that's our story. Is he wanted to show us the aliens, and the CIA is now after him, so he's hiding them at Mar-a-Lago, and he wants to show, but he isn't safe if he does show. So we need the real, true patriots in this country to show up to Mar-a-Lago tomorrow.
Yeah, storm Mar-a-Lago.
Storm Mar-a-Lago and get those goddamn aliens. We're not doing it because we're not.
I don't think you can post this on the internet, dude.
Oh, you're thinking of different aliens in Mar-a-Lago, aren't you? You're thinking of the staff.
No. I don't think we're allowed to encourage people to storm.
Well, this is a comedy.
An ex-president's house. I don't think
this is a comedy idea. We're not actually saying to do it. We're just talking about how we might do this later on Reddit.
Yeah.
With our Reddit usernames.
I don't have a Reddit username.
I do. I think when you go on there, I don't know. All right, well, we got to get out of here. We got to get out of here. Yeah. Thanks for coming, John. This was a fun podcast.
This was fun.
Yeah, in the comment sections, let us know about our debates: JFK versus the Super Bowl, the Winter Olympics versus Saudi Arabia, and fantasy football versus the deep state. Who do you think won? Thank you guys for listening to the Duke It Out podcast. See you next week.
Peace out.